Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Paul Hagen here in the Forewarned Weather Center doing a video blog today, which usually we do when we've got something big headed directly towards Middle Tennessee, either a winter storm several months ago, and probably a few months from now, or severe weather outbreaks during the spring and sometimes during the fall. Today, there's just a lot happening in weather around the entire world, so we're going to break down the details and how it eventually could affect our weather, beginning with the major weather story, which is Hurricane Patricia. This is a record-setting storm. The satellite loop over the last several hours shows a very well-organized Category 5 hurricane. The statistics there on the right-hand side of the screen. The winds, those are the sustained winds, 200 miles an hour. What's remarkable, the wind gusts that the National Hurricane Center reporting 245 miles an hour, reaching the top of the scale here, not only in terms of the Saffir-Simpson scale, which is what those categories mean, but also we're reaching the upper limit of what the Earth's atmosphere can actually produce in terms of maximum winds, about 200 to 210 miles an hour. Now, it's moving to the north and northwest this morning, but it's going to take more of a turn to the northeast, and that's eventually going to bring it to the western coast of Mexico. This has already been a record-setting storm. A couple of different records broken. First of all, the wind speeds for this part of the Pacific Ocean. The previous record was 185 mile an hour sustained winds. That was Hurricane Linda back in 1997. New record was 200 mile an hour sustained winds from Hurricane Patricia this morning already, and expecting that to strengthen even further before it makes landfall later today. Some other records that have been broken. The central pressure. We measure how strong the low pressure is in a unit called millibars. Don't worry too much about what that specific unit means. In general, just keep in mind the lower numbers here mean that the storm is stronger. And the record for the lowest central pressure in any storm, regardless of whether it is a hurricane or whether it's just an extratropical cyclone, these low pressure areas tend to reach their lowest potential pressure around 870 millibars. That's the record for Typhoon Tip. That was back in 1979. So it's a record that's been on the books for over 30 years. The record for the Western Hemisphere was 882 millibars. Well, that was broken this morning. Hurricane Patricia has an 880 millibar central pressure, which means it's really low. That's what produces those strong winds, that strong pressure gradient around the center of the storm, and it just shattered the record for the Eastern Pacific Ocean, which was just over 900 millibars. Again, Hurricane Linda back in 1997. And it's possible that Hurricane Patricia, as we get some more data later on this morning, will break that record of Typhoon Tip at 870 millibars. What's remarkable is this was just a tropical storm 48 hours ago, so it underwent just record-setting intensification to a Category 5 hurricane, and it is going to make landfall in between, just to the south and southeast of Puerto Vallarta, kind of tracking in between Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara as it makes its way farther inland. Now, once it makes its way inland, it is going to run into a lot of mountainous terrain, and that is going to dramatically weaken the wind speeds with this storm. So from 200 to 205 mile an hour sustained winds down to tropical storm force winds around 70 miles an hour by early Saturday, and then that L at the top of the screen there just means it's going to become, again, what we call an extratropical cyclone. That doesn't mean additionally tropical, it means outside the tropics. So it is going to become just a storm system as it moves through the northern part of Mexico, but it's not going to be done affecting the weather because you can see the spaghetti plot here, the computer models tracking where the remnants of Hurricane Patricia are going to go, and it does track those farther and farther to the northeast, eventually through the middle of the country, and that's going to have a big impact on weather, potentially for us, but more likely for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, because they're not only seeing record-setting rainfall, not record-setting rainfall, but flooding rains today because of Gulf moisture, but then you throw more moisture associated with the remnants of Hurricane Patricia into the mix, it is going to be a big mess. We're talking about the potential for record-setting rainfall, especially for the state of Texas. We'll add it up with the computer models, and again, these computer models aren't perfect. You can't take these numbers specifically to the bank, but just look at the overall pattern. And as we track it all the way through Monday, we're talking about the potential of 6 to 12 inches of rain for Texas. It has been either deluge or drought for the state of Texas over the past several months. They saw heavy rains with Tropical Storm Bill earlier this year, and now they're getting more rain with the remnants of Patricia with that Gulf moisture as well. In between, they actually were back to drought status earlier in the year. So we're talking about really a dramatic change headed for those folks. And some of that moisture is eventually going to be heading in our direction as well. But in the meantime, we have calm weather across the mid-state once again today, and we are going to be seeing calm weather for the rest of today before some changes start to enter our forecast as well as we head into the weekend. Let's talk about today first. We had another cool start, but temperatures warming up rapidly up into the mid-70s for temperatures by noon, and then around or above 80 degrees by this afternoon. That's despite a gradual increase in cloud cover, but those southerly winds will continue, and that's going to keep temperatures mild as we head through the evening. Still mid-70s by 6 o'clock, probably upper 60s and low 70s for kickoffs of those high school football games this evening. But again, there are some changes on the way as we head through the next couple of days. Some of the moisture in the middle of the country, not with Patricia, just that Gulf moisture, is going to be heading our way as we head into the weekend. So for today, gradually thickening clouds, but we're still going to stay dry today. We're still going to stay dry for those high school football games this evening as well. Slight chance of a shower after midnight tonight. A lot of this, the green on the radar simulation, will evaporate before it hits the ground. Then a better rain chance moving in as we head through the day Saturday. It's going to be off on activity for Nashville. Best chance of rain during the day Saturday will be west and northwest of Nashville. You see that with the steadier, heavier rain in western Middle Tennessee, the western half of southern Kentucky. But as we head through Saturday evening and Saturday night, that's going to work its way farther to the east. So around Metro Nashville, you can expect off and on showers on Saturday. More widespread rain Saturday night into early Sunday. Lingering showers for the first half of Sunday, and then things dry out a little bit as we head through the day Sunday. There's still going to be some off and on shower activity. So if you're heading to the Vandy-Mizzou game on Saturday, if you're heading to the Titans game on Sunday, I can't tell you it's going to be raining on you. And if it does rain, it probably won't rain the entire time you're out there. But have the rain gear handy because at some point you will likely need it. Let's get into details here, kind of break it down area by area. Best chance of rain Saturday during the day will be western Middle Tennessee, the western half of southern Kentucky. That's going to continue into Saturday night. For the middle of Middle Tennessee, including the I-65 corridor, Metro Nashville, off and on showers. Pretty decent chance of getting some rain, but it won't be a washout Saturday. The best chance of more widespread, slightly heavier rain will be Saturday night. Then off and on showers still lingering on Sunday. The better rain chances do shift a little bit farther to the east and southeast as we head through the day on Sunday. Eastern Middle Tennessee, you have the better chance of staying dry during the daylight hours on Saturday. This is just the first wave of moisture that's going to head our way. We kind of back the rain chances down to the 30% category Monday and Tuesday. Here's the problem, though. That might have to be adjusted depending on what the remnants of Hurricane Patricia do. If they get a little closer to us a little faster, we'll have to bump those chances up. Stay tuned for revisions to the 7-day forecast because those are very possible. I think the better chance of heavier rain, including the potential for some storms, which may be on the strong side, on the way Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Not anticipating a severe weather outbreak or anything like that at this point because it's just too far out there. There's too many variables in play that could rearrange exactly how things shape up. But we'll be on the lookout for changes to the forecast as we head through the weekend. Of course, the big story is Hurricane Patricia, and we'll be tracking that over the next 24 hours, and we'll be tracking the remnants throughout most of next week as well.